Hello, I'm Sophia McFadden-Keesling. I'm the first year experience librarian, and I'm going to be talking about the TRAAP method. If you have any questions about this, you can contact me at semcfadd@umich.edu. All right, so let's get started. So first off, what is the TRAAP method? The TRAAP method is a simple acronym that can be used as a tool for evaluating information and determining if you're heading toward a research trap. So each letter in TRAAP represents a criteria by which to measure the reliability and appropriateness of sources. The TRAAP method was an adaptation of the TRAAP method test, which was developed at the Merriam Library in California State University, Chico. All right, so again, the TRAAP method is just a simple acronym. It's going to be made up of 5 different words that should help you think about how to evaluate your sources, what questions to ask, and how to think critically about information. All right, so to start with, the T in TRAAP stands for timeliness. So this is thinking about the currency of information. Questions I want you to ask yourself are, when was the information published or posted? Has it been updated since the original posting? And do you need the most current up-to-date information on your topic, or is it something that it's okay to rely on older resources? So if you are researching something in the medical field, you probably want that information to be as up-to-date as possible. You probably don't want something from the 1960s on how to perform a surgery. But if you're researching something that has been available to a larger audience for a very long time, like you're researching Shakespeare, it might be all right to use something from the 1960s. So you need to think about, what are you researching? And when is the piece that you're reading written about that information? And how much does it matter when it has been published? Again, for things like the medical field and developments in science, you probably want the most recent information possible. But for things in literature and in other humanities, it might be okay if that information is a little bit older. All right, so moving on to the R. R stands for the relevance. So this is the information and how it meets your assignment needs, or if it doesn't meet your assignment needs. So there's a lot of information out there. The questions I want you to ask yourself are, does the source meet your assignment requirements? Very simply. If your assignment asks for a peer review article, is the article you're reading peer reviewed? If it's not, then it doesn't meet the requirements. Does the information directly relate to your topic? So if you are researching puppies and you have a document on cats, that might be tangentially related, but it also might just be completely separate and not relevant to the topic you want to look more into. So while it might be a good resource on cats, it might just not be relevant to what the research is that you're doing. Does it help you answer your questions? That's really key. Again, it could be a really great source, but if it's not getting to answer your questions, it's not the source for you, or if it doesn't help you lead to those answers. Then finally, have you looked at other sources to find the best one? Even if it does do these top 3 requirements, it meets your assignment needs, it directly relates to your topics, and it answers a question, it might not be the best source still. It might take a while to answer your question. It might be, again, just sort of tangentially related. You might have to keep digging for the most accurate and the most relevant source. All right, so the next one is the first A, and that is authority. The source of the information. So for this, you're going to want to think about, who is writing this? Who's the author or the publisher? What is their intention with the work they're writing? Do they have a history of writing very liberal pieces, very conservative pieces? What are they intending from the publication? And then, are they qualified to write about this? So this differs very widely depending on what subject area you're studying. But for instance, if you are studying the field of psychology and you're reading an article about child psychology, it's probably best if that person that's writing the article has a PhD in psychology or psychiatry or something related to counseling, related to that work, and not a undergraduate degree in mathematics or something, which could still be helpful, but you have to think about who is this person trying to convince you of something and what credentials do they have. Sometimes this is more important than others, like I said, with the field of psychology, with the field of science. If you are just reading opinion pieces and you know that they're opinion pieces, that's okay as long as you're aware that that's that person's opinion and it's not necessarily backed up by fact. All right, so the next A is accuracy. This is the reliability and correctness of the information. So questions to ask yourself are, is the information supported by citations or other evidence? Again, is this person just writing an article and using their own opinions, or are they backing it up by other research done within the field, other credible sources? Can you verify the information with another source? So not only are they citing people in their own writing, but are other people citing them? Do other people corroborate what they're saying? This is just, again, making sure that the information is as accurate as possible. As much as I would like it to be that all the information out there is accurate, it's not true, and it could be that people are purposefully trying to mislead you and having misinformation or fake information, or it could be just accidentally. They accidentally wrote that 2 + 2 = 5. Even if they're an authority within the subject area, people can still make mistakes. Double check everything, fact check the information, make sure it's as accurate as possible, and make sure it's being represented in the best way. All right, so talking about being represented in the next way, let's talk about purpose. The reason the information exists in the first place. So for these questions to ask yourself, I want you to think about, what is the purpose of the information? To inform, sell, persuade, or entertain you? Is the information given as fact or an opinion? Again, this is really important, and everything sort of connects together. So thinking about the authority, who's writing this, why are they writing it, and then do they have the credentials to write it? Everything's sort of coming together in this purpose piece. Is the author or publisher biased or unbiased towards the subject matter? Now, there are different degrees of bias, and I just want to say too that pretty much everything you're going to read is written by a person, and all people are biased to some degree. So even if they're intending to be as unbiased as possible, they're still going to represent the information in a way that's trying to convince you of something. And it's fine and it's important that pieces be written in this way so that they're interesting and that they have a purpose, but you just need to be aware of what that purpose is. You can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but you need to be aware that someone is trying to convince you of something, sell you something, or inform you about something. As long as you're aware of it though, that's fine and you won't fall for a trap. All right, so just to go over everything again, there are the 5 parts of TRAAP: timeliness, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. And what I'm getting at with all of this is just the idea that you need to think critically about the information you take in. Think critically about everything. Just think, what is the intention of this? What is the purpose? When was it written? Is this really the best piece for the paper you're writing? Just think critically and ask yourself these example questions I've come up with, but also just ask yourself questions in general about if this is the best information source for you. All right, if you have any questions, please contact the library at askthemardigian@umich.edu. And that's if you have any questions on evaluating information in general or any questions pertaining to the library. I just want to say thank you. And again, my name is Sophia McFadden-Keesling. I'm the first year experienced librarian, and you can contact me at semcfad@umich.edu. Thank you.